Hey everybody, I am back in the kitchen today and I'm happy to be here. I'm happy that you're here too. It actually makes my day when you show up and you watch these videos because I have such a hoot making them and it just thrills me to know that you're out there somewhere watching. So let's get busy. Today we're making chicken casserole. We're not just making a chicken casserole. We're making two chicken casseroles. I'm going to make a traditional, just regular, straightforward, plain chicken casserole, and then I'm going to make an Oriental chicken casserole. I think they're both yummy. I don't know, I just thought that it would be a good opportunity for me to show you how when you start off with just a good base, which I've mentioned before in other videos, when you start out with a good base, building your flavor profiles, that you can go in any direction. Well, it's no different for this particular recipe. Now, we are going to start with the traditional one. What I have got in this bowl is some chicken, some celery, and some onion. Now, I fried this up earlier just to get it to this state where it wouldn't take quite so long to film this video. And I let it saute and sweat down just a little bit, and I cooked the chicken through because, well, I don't know why I did, but I did. I just cooked the chicken to make sure that it was cooked through, and then I have put it in this bowl. Now, what I'm going to add is half a block of cream cheese because I like it, and it adds a little depth of flavor to our casserole, which is always nice. So in the bowl goes half of a block of softened cream cheese. I'm going to kind of chop it up. Now this is still warm, so it'll help loosen that cream cheese up just the least bit. Stir him up a little bit. Now to this, I am going to add a full cup of sour cream. I know it sounds a little heavy. It sounds a little, I don't want to say extravagant, but it is dairy heavy. But I like it, and it works. It's delicious, and you should try it. So don't judge just yet. Let's give it a whirl. So this is a cup, straight in the bowl of full fat sour cream. You could use fat-free if you wanted to, if it would make you feel better in your life. But I feel pretty good, so I'm using full fat. I'm going to put this in the sink. Now, what I also have to add, I call it a binder, but it's really just a universal can of yumminess. And I'm going for 1 can of cream of celery soup. Now, I know cream of celery. Who in the world wants to eat cream of celery soup? Well, you don't see me sitting down to eat a bowl of it, but it sure is good to put in a casserole. I find that I use this more than cream of mushroom. Honestly, I'm not above using canned products in my food, but I don't know, I just like cream of celery. It's a neutral. It's got a good yummy flavor, but it's not overpowering, and it's not going to make everything taste like celery. It's just going to give a little kiss in the background of celery, but it's just got good binding power. And sometimes when you use cream of mushroom, it's overpowering with the mushroom. And I'm making this for me and Brad, but he likes mushrooms, and I could use cream of mushroom if I wanted to, but I didn't want to. I'm using cream of celery because that's how I roll today. So stick that right there. I'm going to stir this up just at least a little bit. And you'll see it's looking kind of oopy and goopy. And yummy. Who am I kidding? So I want to make sure I get that cream cheese hunk kind of stirred up because it warmed up a bit. And so it's nice and getting incorporated in here. Now, when I was sauteing down the onions and the celery, I used about 3 tablespoons of butter in the pan and a squirt of olive oil. because when you're cooking with butter and you squirt some olive oil in, it helps regulate the temperature and it won't hit the burning point quite so fast, because butter has a tendency to brown and burn real quick. But if you hit it with just a little bit of olive oil, it changes the molecular structure of the fat. I sound like a scientist. Oh. Anyway, it just works somehow to where it doesn't burn as fast. And that's what we want. So, now, everything looks kind of plain and very monochromatic. It's very creamy looking. But we're not done. To this, I am going to add some chicken broth. Now, you can use boxed chicken broth. You can use canned chicken broth. I made this chicken broth last night when I cooked some chicken on the bone. Let me see if I can pop this off. Oh, yeah. I didn't intend for it to seal. This is going to be 1 cup of chicken broth. And it looks dark and murky, but it's because I cooked it with onion and some celery and carrot and some parsley and bones. Chicken bones were in there, and I let it cook down a long time. And so it's the most fabulous stuff. And it goes straight in. Chicken broth, chicken broth. All right. And now we're going to add some rice. This is pre-cooked. I cooked it earlier. I'm using brown rice today. Brown rice is not my most favorite type of rice. But I find that brown rice works pretty good in this recipe. And there's people out there who's going to argue that brown rice is much better for your health. So, since we've got so much dairy, we might as well add something that's healthy. So I'm going to add, this is 2 cups of pre-cooked rice, brown rice. It's going straight in the bowl, just like that. And I need to add some pepper. I'll get my little measuring spoon. We're going to go for about a half a teaspoon of pepper. I'll spoon them in a little bit more because who am I kidding? You know me and pepper. Gotta have it. Got to have it. It's looking good in the hood. Sounds goopy, and that's perfect. So I'm stirring this up, scooching it around. Now, one of the things that makes this recipe real good is that it's full of, well, it's got some more dairy in it. Oddly enough, I'm putting cheese in it. This is going to have 2 big old whopping cups of cheddar cheese. I'm going to go ahead and put some of that in. I've got a big thing here. I'm going to put a big handful in. And I'm going to stir it up. And I will distribute it evenly throughout. And then when I put it in the pan, I'm going to put a little bit more on top before I put my breadcrumbs on. It's going to make it yummy. So, stirring it up. Now, I'm supposed to put in some garlic. And I didn't put my garlic out here. Now I'm mad at myself. So, let me turn around here and get some granulated garlic. I don't really love to cook with granulated garlic. But I'm not opposed to it. So, normally I would put 2 cloves of real minced garlic. But, see, look, I am just using what I got. It's not a tragedy, and it's not going to fail. Sometimes you just have to go with what you have. That's a lesson in life, y'all. Just go with it. And it's going to be delicious. I know it will be. Trust me. All right. Now, you've noticed I have not put any salt in here. My chicken broth had some salt in it that I used. That can of cream of mushroom soup had salt in it. The butter that I used was salted butter. There might be enough salt in this already, but I'm going to taste it to find out where the salt is. So open up the can. I'm going in here on the side and I'm just going to taste it for salt. Yeah, it really could use a little bit of salt. So let me get my salt cellar. I'm not going to go crazy with salt. I'll go, that's a quarter, and another quarter makes a half a teaspoon. So, stir that up. And I think it's going to be delightful. Okay, so I've got this mixed up, and I am ready for my bacon dish. Now, this is a pretty big casserole. So we take our bacon dish, and I reach up real high, and I get my spray. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to spray my bowl. Not really a bowl, it's a pan. I'm going to spray that thing so that it's not quite a mess when I turn it out. Or when I serve it up. And I'm going to pour it in my little pan here. Boom. And of course, the recipe is going to be posted in the description of the video, so you'll have measurements and everything. Because you know me, hair and scare 'em. I just fly by the seat of my pants when I'm doing these videos, just talking and talking. And I forget sometimes to tell you how much of this and how much of that. But I always put it in the description. So you'll have to just forgive me for being excited. Yeah. All right, I'm going to set this to the side because I'm going to use it again. Because I'm going to mix my Oriental chicken salad up in this. Because why not? One less bowl to wash. I'm going to set it right there. Now, I'm going to get my cheese back over here. And I'm going to add just a little bit more cheese to the top. Because why not? Now, this is a mix. I used some medium cheddar and a block of Colby Jack. You can use whatever cheese you want. If you like Swiss cheese, knock yourself out. If you want to put some slices of provolone on here, why not? Pepper jack? Okay. I don't want none, but I bet it would be okay. Anyway, so here's where we are with this. Let me get my butter out of this microwave because we have got to work on our topping. Now, our topping is going to be real easy. Easy peasy, easy peasy. That's my favorite. I'm going to get my little bowl here. Move stuff around. Now, I have got Panko breadcrumbs. I love Panko breadcrumbs. Panko breadcrumbs are Japanese breadcrumbs. You might have heard them called that before. They're just not ground down as fine as regular, like Italian-style breadcrumbs or plain breadcrumbs that you get at the store. They still got a little poof to them. So they're just nice and crunchy. And I like that. So I'm going to put, let's see how much we're going to need. We'll probably go, well, that's a good cup. Let's go a cup and a half, because I don't think I'm going to need quite all of this. Straight in my bowl. And then I'm going to put some butter. We'll save that because this one is going to be in my next one. So I'm going to stir this up just a little bit. Get the butter squared around. And if you wanted to put some more black pepper in this, you could. If you wanted to put a touch of paprika for a little bit of color, why the heck not? I say just go with it. Make yourself happy. But I'm not going to. I'm going at it like this because we're making plain. I wanted you to see the beauty of making something that's just plain. So going in with this, and I'm just scooching it out like this. See what I mean? And I'm going to spread it out a little bit. I'm not packing it down by any means. I'm just kind of lightly spreading it. Because we want it to still be pretty. We don't want to be, making our casserole ugly by just willy-nilly spreading stuff out. I mean, what's up with that? I'm not going to do it. Okay, look at this, y'all. This is one traditional, plain old chicken cheese casserole. And it's going to be fabulous. I'm not going to stick it in the oven just yet, though. I'm going to stick it on the stove behind me to wait because Well, let me put my glasses back up on my forehead, on my head. We're going to mix up the Oriental style chicken salad. It's not even chicken salad. It's a chicken casserole. So let's get on with that one. Let me turn this back here. Get my bowl back. My big old dirty bowl. And I can wipe this off. So, grab me a paper towel. I'm going to wipe the edge off just a little bit. So, little trash. I'm going to get my next batch of chicken and vegetables that I cooked up just a minute ago. I'm using all white meat chicken. I usually like to put some dark meat in there, but I didn't have it, so I didn't use it. See, it's not a tragedy. You just use what you have. So, this is about 1.5 pounds of white meat chicken that I diced up. This is about 2 stalks of celery and a medium onion. And I chopped the fool out of everything. And then I stuck it in the pan with some butter, a little bit of olive oil, and fried it up. So see, this was the same base that we used for the traditional chicken casserole. There's not one thing that I changed. It's the very same. But we're going to start changing things up at this point because we got a few extra things to add. Now, it too calls for the cream cheese because we want it to be nice and creamy. And, well, because I am doing this video and I get to pick what we put in it. Cream cheese. Dang it. So there goes some cream cheese. And I'm going to get it down in this warm chicken so it'll melt. So it'll mix up. Now, I did put the cream cheese block in a Ziploc bag and I put it in a bowl of hot water. And it nice and softened up real good. So that's always something you can do. I mean, I've put it in the microwave before. I took it out of the little aluminum wrapper and put it in the microwave. But then when you microwave it, it poofs up and then it blows up in the microwave. And it's just tragic. So don't do that. This is much easier and much cleaner, I might add. So we're at this point of the stir, stir, stir. Now, we're going to make a little bit of a sauce, kind of, to put in this. Move my bowl for my topping. I'm going to take this little bowl that I had my rice in, and we're going to make a little Oriental sauce. Now listen, I have looked through recipe after recipe for Oriental chicken casserole, and I'm sorry, putting almonds and a little celery in a chicken casserole doesn't make it Oriental, people. What the heck? What is that even about? No, I like to put some, some flavor in that are at least related to Oriental food, like some soy or, gosh, you could use a lot of different kinds of sauces. But what we're going to do is we're going to start with some soy sauce. So I'm going to get me, open my little thing of soy sauce here. This is going to be 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. I guarantee you we won't be adding no salt to this. And then we're going to have 1 tablespoon of, well, I don't know what you call it, but I call this stuff woody sauce because I'm not good at pronouncing Worcestershire. I guess that's how you say it. But still, I like to say woody sauce. So that's what I call it. I'm going in for 1 whole tablespoon of woody sauce. Ugh. It don't smell so good, but it tastes good in small amounts. Went right up my nose. Now, I am going to get, what else is in my sauce? Ooh, a little vinegar. Okay. Let me get the vinegar. I'll be right back. So, I've got my vinegar. Now, this is rice wine vinegar. If you don't have rice wine vinegar, it's okay. You can use red wine vinegar. You can use apple cider vinegar. You can use white vinegar. Just do whatever. We need a little vinegar. What we're looking for is a little bit of acid, and that's where the vinegar comes in. So we're going 1, 2 tablespoons of the vinegar. And this might sound a little weird, but if you've been to any Chinese restaurant and you've had a sweet and sour dish, this is kind of along those lines, but it's not going to be sour tasting or necessarily sweet. We're just building a little bit of flavor. We're not building boom in your face, overwhelming every flavor in the whole bowl. But what we've got here is just some brown sugar, and I need 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. So there's 1 and 2. So we probably want to get it all out. So I need one more thing in our sauce, and that is sesame oil. Now, if you don't have sesame oil, it's okay. I do suggest you go to the store and get some. But if you're not up for it, if you don't feel like messing with it, you don't have to have it. Sesame oil is just lovely. It smells nice and toasty, and it's potent. You don't need to use a whole bunch of this stuff. So I'm going in here with a teaspoon of sesame oil. And I'll just pour it straight in my chicken dish since I overshot my sauce bowl. It's okay. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and give this a stir. Stir up all my sugar, make sure it gets a little bit stirred up. Boy, it smells good. That's real nice. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and put it straight in. Now, it don't look too pretty, but that's okay, because we really don't care how it looks. We care how it tastes. Well, at this point anyway, you don't want ugly food, but we want it to be delicious anyway. So I'm going to pull my little tray over here and tell you what else I've got to go in this. I have my binder. Now this, how much do I have? I've got a half a cup each of mayonnaise, and I got half a cup of sour cream. Straight in. Yes, it's got mayonnaise in it. Don't freak out. Yeah, crazies. Mayonnaise, it's okay. It's not going to taste like mayonnaise, I promise. I got a friend. She hates everything to do with mayonnaise. So I wonder we're friends at all. Craziness. This is cilantro. I happen to love cilantro. Some people don't. Some people think it tastes like soap, and I appreciate that. But I'm not one of them. And most of my family, they're pretty good with cilantro. So this is going in. This is a tablespoon of chopped cilantro. And then I took 6 green onions. Just spring green onions. And I chopped them up kind of fine. And they're going straight in. I know we've got white onions in here, and now I'm putting more onions. But, I mean, it is what it is. We're doing it. Now, this is something fun. My original recipe didn't call for this. But as I told you before, I don't think just putting almonds and putting water chestnuts and putting some celery in a dish makes it necessarily oriental. I mean, that's just goofy. What I've got here, this is actually, I got this in the cold section at the grocery store. This says it's Thai seasoning. Basically what it's got in it, it's got some lemongrass, it's got some garlic, it's got some ginger, it's probably got a little bit of cilantro and some red chili flake. Or maybe it's just red chilies ground up. But this is a powerhouse. You don't need a whole lot of it. And I'm not going to overpower this with chili flavor. I just want the flavor. I don't want the hot. I mean, I'm sure that if I used, all of this, that it would be hot as the devil. But I'm not looking for that. I'm just looking for tasty. And I just want to know that I've got a little Oriental flavor going on, because this is classic Oriental flavor. And anytime you're using ginger with the cilantro, and the ginger really kicks in with the garlic. Yeah, the garlic. Okay, so here is, we'll go for, that's 1 heaping teaspoon. Let's go for 2 teaspoons of this. And if you don't have this, it's fine. You don't have to use it. I just wanted to throw it in because I happened to see it and I was curious about what it was going to taste like. It smells real good and I think it's going to be perfect for this. So I will definitely let you know. So I've got all this in, and I need to put a little black pepper in because you know me and my pepper. So get my measuring spoon out. See, I didn't measure anything out this time because I wanted y'all to know that I do know how to use stuff. So here's half a teaspoon. We'll go for a full 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Now, here are some sliced water chestnuts. I like them. I like them a lot. They're crunchy, but they don't taste like a whole lot, but they're good for texture. Now, Brad don't like these, so that's why he's not eating this Oriental chicken casserole for his supper. He's having the traditional one. But I'm making this one, going to take it to my mama, because she loves these things. So a whole can of these, and they're already sliced. If you felt like slicing them a little bit more, knock yourself out. That's good. Why not? So, I'm going to stir this around. Golly, that stuff smells good. I ain't lying. Alright. We're going to add a filler, which is going to be another bunch of brown rice. This is 2 cups of rice that I cooked earlier, and it's going straight in. I'm going to add some almonds. Even when you make a chicken salad, Asian chicken salad, it's always got almonds in it. I didn't know that Orientals were that keen on almonds, or that almonds came from the Orient, but surprise, apparently it's a big deal. So I'm going to put most of them in, because I do want to save just a little bit, because I'm going to put this on the top when I put the topping on. So I'm going to stir that rice up. I'm going to stir these almonds in. And then I am going to taste it to see what the salt profile is looking like, because, I mean, I know it's going to be close. Because that was 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. But this is a lot of food, so it's not surprising that we have to call for so much stuff. Alright, so this looks like it's pretty well incorporated. I am going one more stir and get my spoon over here, and I'm going in for salt. So, here goes. This is going to be good, y'all. I ain't even kidding. Oh. I'm excited. I might just leave Brad at home by himself and let him eat that other one. I'll go eat with my mama, because this is going to be good. No joke. Alright. So, I'm not putting any more salt in it. It don't need it. Got my trusty casserole dish. I'm going to spray it just a little bit. Now I'm going in. I did have a bigger casserole dish than this, but I broke it. So I'm having to use this smaller one. So I'm probably going to have too much stuff to fit in that, but that's okay, because I can put the rest of it in another little pan and bake it up. Well, yeah, I don't want to put too much, because we got to put a top on it. Alright, so I'm going to leave this in this bowl, and I'll work with it at a later time. Then I'm going to set this to the side. He jumped out of the bowl. Boom, you go right back in. So, topping time. I have bought these wonderful creatures called chow mein noodles. If you've never had chow mein noodles, where have you been? Sometimes they put these on the table at the Chinese restaurant. Sometimes if you order chow mein, this is what comes on the bottom of your dish when they put the actual chicken or beef chow mein on top. They are yummy, crunchy little treats. See? Just like little crunchies. They're fabulous. But they're kind of big. See? I don't want that on top of my casserole. So I'm going to put them in this bag. I'm going to put about half this container in this little bag. And then I'm going to lay it down. See what I'm doing? Get my trusty rolling pin, and I'm just going to crunch a little bit. I'm not pulverizing. I'm simply, breaking them up a little bit. Because they're just too big for my preference. If you want to leave them whole, go ahead. But this way, they're going to cook better. They're not going to have any weird ends that are poking up that may get toasted and burnt. So, these look great. They're going in my bowl. Look at that. And then I'm going to add some more panko because I want there to be a little bit of a smaller bit in there too, not just straight chow mein noodles. So I'm going in with my panko. Just what I had left over. Get the rest of my butter. Where did you go? Here she is. She didn't go far. So straight in here with the rest of my melted butter. And I guess I'm going to put the rest of my almonds in. And then I'm just stirring. I'm incorporating the butter in just so everybody gets just a little bit so that this thing will toast up delightfully in the oven. By the way, I have heated up my oven to 350. And it is ready. I heard it ding a little while ago. So, ready to top this thing. Just like before, just go in. A little bit here, a little there. I love it. I love cooking. I wish y'all could come over. I cook for all y'all. And I love it when y'all make comments on my page. I wish more of you would. Yes, I'm begging. Because I like to read them. I like to feel like, we're connected and that you really are getting a kick out of what I'm doing and that you're trying these recipes because, what am I doing in here otherwise? I'm making myself happy for one thing. But I want you to be happy too. And that's important. So listen, leave me a stinking comment. Even if you just wanted to comment on my apron or the pretty day or what a mess I made. I can't help it. Okay, so this one is ready. Look, doesn't it look pretty? You can see the few almonds that are in that top and the panko blends in. Y'all, this is going to be just the most wonderful casserole. I can hardly stand it. So I'm going to go in with both of these. Open up my oven. And get my friend Mr. Traditional here. He's going in the oven too. Now I don't have a pan big enough to put under both of them so that if something burbles out that it'll catch it. But what I have done is I have lined the bottom of my oven with it's just some kind of protective thing that I can pull out and clean off. So it's handy dandy. I suggest you get one if you don't have one. So I don't even have to worry about the bubble over. So in she goes at 350. I'm going to set the timer for, we'll go 40 minutes. And see what happens. I'll be back in a minute. Hey everybody, I am back. The buzzer has gone off on the casseroles. They are bubbling nicely. And when I open up this oven, a cloud of smoke's going to come out. So don't freak out. A little bubbled over and it's all right. Oh, it's not as bad as I thought. So, here goes. Look at this. It smells so good. Look at this. Here is the Oriental chicken casserole. It has toasted up just right. The almonds have got a little toasty. It's gonna be so good. I can't even stand it. All right, let me get the oven. Now here's Brad's traditional chicken and cheese casserole. Now look at that. See that cheese? It's all melted, gooey, gooey. Whew, it's bloody hot too. It's burning through my little mitts. Shut up. Let me get this little one out. See, I told you I had enough to make one little bitty one. Now, y'all, I forgot to tell you something. When I was putting the top on this particular one, the traditional one, I could have used cornflakes. And I had intended to. But I got carried away. And I forgot about them. And then I looked over and I said, well, snap. I got all these darn cornflakes. So it just goes to show that you can, wing it on the fly. Just go with what you got. So this traditional chicken casserole has panko and no cornflake. And that is just fine. I am going in to taste this. It's bubbly like a volcano, but I don't care. And they're done just in time because my mama just pulled in the driveway. She's come to pick this one up for her supper. I'm going in to taste it. I don't care if she smacks me around for messing with her dinner. I don't think she will. But I'm going in and I'm going to get some ooey gooey. That looks good. Alright, change it. Then I'm going to go in on this one. Oh, this one is just ridiculously good. Look at that. Yeah, we're going to be happy here tonight. Alright. I'm going to try the Oriental one first. Because that one still was smoking like crazy. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I taste just the least little bit of that vinegar, the acid I talked about. It's perfect. It tastes just like it's supposed to. You get the Oriental flavors. You get the ginger, the garlic. I don't even taste that chili, but I know it's there. This is fit to chew, y'all. I definitely give this 2 thumbs up. Now I'm going to try this traditional one. I know this is going to be good. Cheesy goodness. Hot diggity dog. It is fit to chew. And it's so gooey and yum. Gosh. Well, I've done it again, y'all. I've impressed myself. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you being here. I would appreciate you subscribing to my channel so we can keep in touch. That's the only way I can get some feedback from you guys so I know what you want to see on the channel, because I love to hear from you. Please leave me a comment. Maybe leave me a like. That would just thrill my heart. You can also check me out on Facebook at Jamie Teach Me to Cook. Please. Anyway, have a good evening, y'all. Thank you, Mother.